It's turn to
Welcome
bat.
back, everybody, here to game number 2 of our best of 3 between Navi and Polarity in the ESL One Frankfurt 2016 European Qualifiers. I'm Toby1, I'm your caster for tonight, and this may should be our last game, depending if Navi can take it 2-0 or Polarity fight back. Find out together. Of course, I'm not alone. I am joined by, again, the man who knows all about item drops. It is Swintles. Welcome back, man.
Team pick.
Hey Toby, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. I'm doing great. Feeling rested. Could wake up in the morning. Came in to cast some Dota. Had some good Dota.
Thrilling. I'm very excited. I'm glad I could be a part of your life for just this small period of time.
Yeah, we only ever have small periods, like a small time in Croatia, and now here when we cast, and we won't speak to each other for like a month. I should know, because we're going to be at ESL One Manila, right?
Yes, we will be. I'll be there in a couple weeks. See you there.
It'll be amazing. I'm actually so looking forward to that. So looking forward. If you haven't got your tickets for Manila yet, I hear they're scalpers. Don't go to them. I think they're actually completely sold out for ESL One Manila. I'm actually so hyped for that event. I'm so excited to see a Pinoy crowd.
Yeah, same here. It's so awesome. It's I had a really good experience with like Southeast Asian crowds in Han because all our big events were in Thailand, and they just go nuts, man. And that was like 2,000 people. Can't imagine throwing 20,000 of them somewhere.
Dude, I remember the first time ever I attended a LAN event. Like, it wasn't even a small LAN event. I actually went to WCG in Singapore. It was the first LAN event I attended back when, like, it was actually like in the end of the golden era of Dota 1.
5 seconds remaining.
And it was intense. It was
Yeah.
so intense. Like, the crowd there was so focused, so energized. Couldn't believe it. And that was actually where I first fell in love with Dota. Was at a Singaporean Dota 1 event. It was, yeah, I absolutely loved that. When I got to travel to China, because as you know, I was actually there with you for some Heroes of New Earth stuff. But I went back for some Dota 2 stuff at WCG, and that crowd,
10
man,
seconds remaining.
that was pretty awesome for Dota. And it was actually more intense watching a Chinese crowd go nuts for Warcraft 3. Those guys are fanatical, absolutely fanatical. But in the land of the Philippines, Dota is the one game that rules them all. So both the major as well as ESL One's gonna be absolutely sick.
Yep, I would agree. It's weird that my first event was actually in Singapore too. Just like the place you go to make your bones as an esports guy, I guess.
Was that the event I cast of yours?
Yeah, you were there, dude. I've told you about this.
I always forget that was your first. I always thought like your first was DreamHack.
No, it was right there, man. We won some random ass tournament, and they were like, "Yeah, well, we were gonna send you to DreamHack, but we need another team for Singapore." We're like, "Oh, well, that's further away. Let's do it." And, yeah.
When a team actually says, "Please send me to a place that's further away," now the teams are just like, "Oh, I gotta travel to the Philippines twice in the space of 2 months." I'm never home.
No, I mean we had to go to China twice as well, so we're dying this season. I'm really looking forward to just events in Europe, solely because the travel is so much easier. And I know I sound like a prima donna, but seriously, it's just mostly about the sleep, because when you travel to Asia, you're in the air traveling normally for at least 20 hours. So not only is your sleeping schedule, like you're now 12 hours ahead or behind, but you're also forced to sleep on planes, and sometimes it's just not possible, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's actually, I found it's a lot easier to travel east than it is west though, because all you have to do is stay awake a little bit longer when you travel east. But the second you go from something like America to China, it's not as simple as like Europe to China, where you can you just gotta stay awake an extra like 5-6 hours. You've actually gotta stay awake like almost half a day longer, and that's where you get completely screwed. And you almost gotta do it the other way around, where you actually fall asleep earlier, get a couple of naps in, and then you should be right. It takes some time. It takes some time to get used to it. But I don't use sleeping pills, and normally I can readjust my jet lag. when I have the drive to do so.
Yeah, we can get in
Now
conversations.
it's
I forgot to
time
talk
to
about the
pick.
draft, but I could
Yeah,
discuss the
let's do that,
travel
man.
battle plan for hours, man.
Swindles. People actually enjoy these type of stories as well. Like, people really enjoy these stories. In fact, most of the time, people are tuning in for the stories as well as the Dota.
See,
They
I'm
want
just
both.
not one of those people at all. I'm a pro player. If you like aren't talking about the draft as it's happening and we're on like pick number 6, I'm gonna be just cursing you out to everyone. Like, what the hell is Toby
10
doing?
seconds
He won't
remaining.
shut up. Look at the heroes. I just,
But look at the
I'm all about the
heroes,
Dota.
Swindle! Look at the heroes! Tell me what you think.
Well, Navi obviously loves Batrider. They picked it even into
Yeah.
Venge, like immediately. And Polarity picks Venge Doom as response to Io, which I don't agree with any of them. I think Io is like the hard counter to Doom because you just heal and or relocate out whoever does get doomed. And then they go with Puck. So you've already revealed your mid hero. We can pretty much safely assume that it'll be a Doom 4 and Avenge 5. And I just feel like Navi already has an advantage in this draft. Plus, didn't ban either CK or Tiny, which just is insane to me that people let those heroes go when there's an IO in the game already.
And it's not just that too. Like CK and Tanya is available. But you could also give the big crowd fight controller. Invoker is still available for Dendy too. After Polarity first pick up their Puck, which we should assume is also their mid, right? And they get a Shaman.
Radiant
Navi are
team
keeping
pick.
their draft a little bit more hidden for now, and this actually gives Polarity a chance to ban out either one of the mid heroes or that combo, the CK or the Tani. Well, Snaker can just be really greedy and just say, you know what, screw it. Like we just pick up like the Invoker on the 4th pickup. You ban out CK or Tiny, we'll take the other one because it may not even matter.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a Dendy
10
TA with this 4th
seconds
pick. I think it's really strong here. He hasn't been playing it too
5
much,
seconds
but
remaining.
I think that that's the way they would want to go. If they don't take like a counter
Reserve
to it here.
time.
That would really make the lanes a lot stronger, because I was a little bit. I always get concerned when I see an IO on the field that I'm worried that the lanes, like, there's not enough active presence from like stuns, controllers, any kind of real like big damage from the IO that would at least make the offlaner Polarity a little bit scared. But like Shadow Shaman sort of fills that role. It's the fact that you've actually got the Shaman pickup over things like Lion, like the straight up hex control and burst damage against the Puck. What's the thought process behind the Shaman if it's not to be a tiny push strat?
Yep, I'm kind of thinking the same thing. That's why I wouldn't be surprised to see TA, even with that Sven pick. They have really nothing to take off Refraction, and that early Deso and the map control you get from trap spam is so crucial when you're trying to push. Plus, it's just I really like the synergy with all the heroes they've picked thus far. One thing to note is that Navi chose to just completely ignore Bounty Hunter, something that after looking through their games they really rarely chose to do. And another thing to bring up is that they lost to Polarity 2-0. Oh wow, Ursa. I'm fine with that. I like that a lot. They lost to Polarity already 2-0 a few days ago in Epicenter, and they're picking very similar drafts. They picked Bat in both of those games. They picked Bat Ursa in one of those games, and they picked Bat Bounty in one of those games. So they're obviously everyone knows what Navi's going to do. It's just really a question of how well they play, and I think they definitely have improved since their last series against Polarity.
10 seconds
Okay, so
remaining.
Navi with this lineup, this almost looks too easy to
5
do
seconds
Roshan.
remaining.
They're gonna have the flying vision around the pip. You got Mass Open wants to help you out if
Reserve
Ursa
time.
isn't good enough, and like Ursa's always gonna be good enough. The Sven output of damage from God Strength is gonna be negated quite heavily by Enrage.
Yeah, it's I don't think it's amazing in this game so much. It's so good against Doom, and it prevents Polarity from pretty much
10
putting the Doom in the
seconds
top lane
remaining.
at all. And it's just such a strong
5
safe
seconds
laner in a
remaining.
game where they're not able to contest you properly. EG traditionally always runs like
Radiant
CM
team
Ursa.
pick.
They're doing it with the IO, which is sort of the same, where Ursa has a lot of mana issues, and he also has issues being kited. Oh, Broodmother. Jeez, there's a hero that can lane very well against the Ursa.
So it does force 4th position Doom. Navi still potentially could run the Wisp as well as the Ursa in mid up against the Puck. And then get a more favorable hero to play up against the Broodmother on the safe lane.
I'd like to see. I think Bristleback is okay. It's
10
Navi,
seconds
so
remaining.
I don't really
It's
know
also
what to
gonna be
expect.
Dendi playing it,
Mag
though.
could be okay.
5
Um,
seconds remaining.
Yeah.
You're really harping on the Mag tonight.
Wind Ranger at your service.
Oof.
No, they're gonna run a Wind Ranger.
I don't really like that one. It's very good against the Sven, but they just have no heroes that deal with this Brood, with the exception of Bat. And while Bat is one of my favorite heroes to have against Brood, I mean, maybe they'll run an aggressive duel or tri-lane, but to me, it just if Phobos has a good game, I see Polarity potentially running away with this one. They really need to address this Broodmother. If they do that, I like Navi's draft. If they don't, they're gonna have a lot of issues.
They could always just switch it up and run the Bat Rider on that top lane up against the Brood to start with. But actually, no, if they do that, then Broodmother's gonna walk all over that lane. Levels on that Bat Rider. Yeah, this is definitely concerning if you're Navi, but you still drafted yourself into this. Like, you picked up a Wind Ranger at the
5
end, so
seconds remaining.
you understand that this Wind Ranger will not have a real effect on the Broodmother. They do actually have some decent clearance as well as ways to kill off the Broodmother. Because you're walking around with a Shaman. Maybe this is something we do have to keep in mind.
Prepare
Like,
for
Ether Shock
battle.
is still an amazing ability. So if the Spirelings are visible and the Broodmother is visible, you can Ether Shock, you can Shackle. That'll give a lot of time for the Ursa to beat that out of him. You've got potential Shackles as well from Wind Ranger, so we've got double the bondage from Na'Vi. And then you've also got a Lasso gank with Dust from General. So they have ways to deal with him. It's just how much they deal with him is the question I think you were trying to ask.
Yeah, exactly. Puts a really good ward up that I don't think will be sentryed, and it's not at the very start that Brood will be an issue, but if he gets to like level 3 or 5 and starts building up spiders, like Ursa Rasta doesn't do anything to him. Like, he'll just beat them both. So they need to maybe, I don't know what they need to do, but they need to bait him out of position and just score a kill. Otherwise, he's just going to camp, get experience, and then they'll just win the lane. Bottom, we might actually have an Io down there with him. I am not sure, but this is one of those concerns with picking Io. And actually, one of the reasons we picking him as much is just because a lot of times now you need to be able to have lane versatility. And in this game, like, where does the IO really go where he'll have an impact? Because mid, he's not going to do anything. And in these side lanes, might not be any better.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Denny's going to have to take that top rune. I got this weird feeling that Snako was actually hoping he could tether himself to the Bat Rider and pick up the rune on the way through. That's actually what that felt like a little bit with his positioning. Either way, Courier's actually already making an early trip out for Dendi. Could have waited a little bit longer to get Snako his bottle. But now he's actually going to head down and he's actually blocking up his own camp with his movement. So the 30-second camp doesn't spawn up. He's going to come down and join General on the bottom lane. So you get a dual lane there. Artstyle is well on the hunt. The Dire Sentry ward's there, so Phobos going to get shocked up a little bit. And Lil, well, you asked for it and you're going to get it. Lil will actually join the top lane, but did he Ra? Actually de-ward the first sentry. The secondary sentry down, and now they'll see it. So Artstyle knows that there's another sentry around here, he just doesn't know exactly where it is.
I really like this movement from Lil, especially because they neglected to block that hard camp. Just pretty much guarantees that they'll win the sentry battle and that Brood will get XP. This is really what they want here. Bottom lane, it's Io Bat against a Sven and Avenge, which is not the greatest lane for Radiant, but they're getting the pulls off, so they kind of just want to just chill with this, and I think they'll be fine. They like, again, it's all on this Broodmother. I'm so scared for Na'Vi. If General doesn't get a super fast blink, I do not know how they're going to deal with it.
Yeah.
The one bright spot is, though, Dendi is still Dendi. He is 11-2 against 2-0 in mid, and that's just straight up outskilling.
Afo is not having the greatest time in the world, but he's also... He's going to hit that really bad way. Is Dendi? Oh, he already used phase shift with the power shot. No. Terrify is consumed, plus the Salvus burn. I was going to say that Afo at least has one advantage, that he's still got consumables on Dendi, but he will take that advantage away, and say goodbye to the Doombringer. Lil. Looks like Shackle managed to hold him in position for Didier Ra just to rip him apart.
He he pulled a solo, just went way too deep. There's just no reason to die there. They're getting exactly what they want. Crippling Room's getting better for them. It's just not good. He's gonna run back up top, but I think he could honestly just run to the jungle or something because he's just not really necessary up here anymore. They see the 1 sentry on Ursa, but that's the only one they have remaining. No boots on either hero yet as well.
Is this when you just want to push Lil into the jungle? You want to give Phobos like his level 3 to level 5. Right now he's on level 3, and there's no one that's really going to be killing him off. In fact, Lil has added almost more fuel to the fire here for Artstyle to work with.
I think
bottom lane, general. A little bit of trouble. The damage was decent, but it's an IO with bottle and stick charges. The initiation is not going to ever really reap good rewards.
Yeah, and I mean, once again, I know it didn't really work out last game, but still, there is a Venge in the game against the Bat, so even though he will have a good time...
Oh, they're going after Pasha. It's got 5 sticky napalm charges on him, but there's no Firefly available. Taneko dropping way too low, but General, one more attack on a Pasha will do the job. And now he's in trouble around the Vengeful Spirit. The Wave of Terror removed all that army. He'll go into Firefly. Lil turns on the Scorched Earth. He's just trying to reach him to get a little bit of burn damage, but it's not going to happen. Arstyle will rotate down. And in fact, now it's Arstyle who's a little bit too far out. He'll get stunned up because Lil actually had one of the Mud Golems inside of him. And Batrun denies himself up. Now the Shackles, Io comes to join him with the Wisp Spirit damage, and now the body block, not to mention the Tether Slow. Lil's having real trouble getting away with another Eavesdrock. Snake needs one more attack. Can't get it, but maybe he can. They find the pick off. And Doombringer splits into shards, but committing all of this onto the bottom lane now. You've still got Didira having fun up on top, and Dendy is still crushing mid. And in fact, they're not going to stop. Of course they're not going to stop, but they just keep attacking. Arstyle's going to feed himself over. You've still got the Doom Shards here. Pasha will die. Arstyle will live long enough for that to happen. But these little Doomlings, not making life easy for Na'Vi.
Man, Seneco's just so him. And honestly, this whole Na'Vi team is just... It's just so funny to watch, because they're so similar. I have no idea.
He doesn't have enough mana to actually trigger.
Yes, he does.
Oh, with the stick charge, okay, now he's got enough. He can magic missile. And now the shards have their stuns back off cooldown. And General, he's gonna go down. No, 6 charges. Back under the tower. These shards are still alive. Like the crazy thing, these shards are still alive after Doombringer has already respawned.
Yeah. It's such a weird mechanic, honestly. I don't know. The frog, man. The frog knows all.
I still miss the mechanic that they stole from him. Top lane stun, that shard again going to work. Iran's going to enrage and negate a lot of the damage. But Beastmaster used to be able to consume the Beastmaster Hawk. So you could consume the Hawk and then stand still for a little bit and go invis.
I was not around for that.
It was during the early days of Dota 2.
Yeah, well, the one big thing, and I feel like this was sort of what always gave the Na'Vi of old a big advantage, is just Dendy's actually doubled up both CS and denies in the mid lane, and Puck Wind Ranger, it's definitely a little, probably favorable for the Wind Ranger, but at the end of the day, the better player is going to win, and Dendy is just showing that he is still one of the better mid players in the world. Top lane, Ursa's max against Q, which is okay to deal with spiders, but he still needs 3 to actually take out all the big ones, so, and that's why you can see the Broodmother is very, very farmed, though he was alone for quite some time.
Mid lane rotation's coming. That Observer Ward does help to see Artstyle and Apo. Well, with Dreamfall up, he may have a crack at this. He uses Phase Shift again, the Hex into the Shackles. Dendy, he's got his own Shackle available, but Artstyle, okay, it took a little bit too long. Pasha will rotate to get that support kill. Take the VS off that bottom lane, and this means the General might feel a little bit more confident to go for this. No, he won't. I'll just say hello to the Vengeful Spirit, but not really implement any kind of attack.
I'm just trying to see. I mean, things are once again looking good for Navi, and something I want to touch on is just, and part of the reason I like their current roster and why I hope they keep it together is because they all have very similar play styles. You know, you can see them constantly going for a kill that they shouldn't be able to get and just trading lives for it, and they just don't care, and they're all on the same page. And they also, it makes space for Dendi to just kind of do what he used to do, where he's just one versus one middle, and
Polarity's
it's something
coming.
he still thrives in.
They're coming over. Shadow Shaman's also rotating. Didi Raz gonna be a little bit too tight here instead of Roshan. They go for the Hex onto Pasha instead. General does have Lasso, so he's waiting for the perfect time. The VS done. Didi Raz now opens up. The Lasso keeps Pasha in position, not to mention both of the shackles. Arstar was there. VS. There goes your shackle shot from Dendi. Snako, he needs more time. Like, he can't tether away, but he hides in the tree line. They've managed to pick up 2 heroes already. Arstar needs a little bit more mana to get his shackles up and running. But with a sticky napalm, they slow down quite a fair amount. Shackles available from Dendi. He lines up for the tree target. The power shot through Arstar.
Look at
the shot. Lil, he's not dead yet. Shaman came in way too deep. Now Taneko will die. The kills they should never have gotten. Polarity the ones to now take them. Denny will TP out. He managed to die from breaking Dream Coil. No, he barely survives. But Diddy
Toby,
now has an invis rune, and he's going to go for the play. He's looking at the Vengeful Spirit who has magic missile available. You might have a better chance killing off the puck, who is now scouting out Roshan. With 3 points up in club and VS walking away. Yeah, he gets the kill.
Well played. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly, like, that's exactly what I just said. Like, Navi is just like, yeah, we got this guy. And there's 4 heroes, and the support just literally is tower diving, auto attack. Like, Taneko doesn't have a bottle charge, he's 70 health, 30 mana, and he's still tethering in, you know? Like, at the very least, the decision making isn't always the greatest for Navi, but they are on the same page. And that's the first step.
I hate to tell you, man, but Broodmother's currently eating some of those pages. He's taking up the tier 2 tower up on top lane, because while all that was going on, like, you still had a Broodmother free farming up top, building into that Orchid, making life harder and harder for the Na'Vi supports. This top tower must be denied now by Dendi. He couldn't get the timing right for it, obviously because there's probably 5 million Spirelings on that one unit.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing is, once again, this Broodmother, he is rushing Orchid, which I'm not a huge fan of for the same reason I'm not a fan of Doom against IO, where unless he gets the IO, whoever gets caught by him will probably get saved, but he is going to be a problem. And he is going to get very farmed. Like, Dire will not have the use of their jungle, so they're going to need really good relocates and movements around the map. Like, that's 2 towers to none at Tenet, so even though Navi has been playing quite well, they're 2,000 XP ahead, gold is completely even, and map control is just firmly in favor of Polarity right now.
So the battle of the money to the map control. Who gets to keep more? Also, what is Dendi? I assume he's looking to get something like a 4-staff. Like, what's the item choice for the Wind Ranger? Is even Yule's a good choice, seeing that Orchid arriving for a Broodmother, or on the way for a Broodmother? So I would have thought he'd go something more like Blink Dagger into Aghanim Scepter. Pasha, dead. Relocate, able to help him out for that. And then straight back up to top lane to keep the farm going. But yeah, what do you actually think about this for Dendi? Because he also,
his item choice?
Yeah, like... Yeah, with Focus Fire and double damage rune, yeah, you can't reach the VDS anymore.
I think this would have been a good game for the Maelstrom build, just so they have something that can sort of deal with this Brood, building it to Mjolnir eventually, but it looks like he's just going to rush Ags, which is still okay. I don't really see him being able to get off a full ultimate on many targets. The ward's bottom, so they do get that picked up. Good vision as well for Dire. They've got a lot. There's another ward placed, so they have really good control over the middle lane and the Radiant jungle, and they've just pretty much ceded that the top lane will be Broodmother's domain for quite some time.
What a time for it as well to get that vision up. The Blink Dagger arrived on the Ursa, and General's also picked up his. So Na'Vi now have double the jump power. And Didi Raz moving himself into the mid. You'd like to have a crack on Apo, and that's one way to do it. Actually isolating Lil, the Doom will happen, but Taneko will give him all of the life back again. Apo dragged back. He wants to try and face shift himself out, but a stun from Sven arriving. the burn the Aegis Immortal of Ursa and Io did not really stand a chance in that.
Dire's top tower. Is
Yeah,
under
Sineko is
attack.
very out of position there. You can't be close enough to your core that you're going to catch the stun, and I believe he was running up to try and get the tether slow, but that's really optimistic stage of the game. They doom the Ursa. That's also part of the reason Ursa wants to just kind of ult offensively there, because I think he still probably gets doomed, but they might be able to take out Lil. I'm not really sure, but the bright spot really for Navi is just that even though the Sven just picked up those kills, he is really, really far behind. He doesn't even have his Dom finished yet, and we're at 12 minutes. So
Yeah.
a lot of times you'll see teams with the Sven having cleared already an Ancient stack with a Yasha on board, and he is just not even close to that sort of timing.
They're coming to gank the Broodmother now. General into flying vision. Triggers the dust. Does he actually see him? This is difficult during nighttime. Now they most definitely do. They don't have last two available, so they have to do this the old-fashioned way. And with the burn, Phobos will drop. A big kill for General. I wasn't quite certain they'll be successful with the nighttime vision, but it all seemed to work out.
Bat Rider is very good against Brood, and that's like actually exactly what Navi need to do. They abandon the Radiant jungle and immediately catch the Brood. So while they're not necessarily going to be able to take all of this area back, they'll be able to at least get the creep pushing towards top tower and force Broodmother to just destroy his very carefully placed web network if he wants to come back to this lane immediately, which is a victory for them. And they have Lasso if he does come back as well, prepared. There it is. He's gonna die again.
Hi, Broodmother. Dump.
Oh, nah.
Okay, that
Hesitation.
timing was interesting.
Venge was closing, so they had to move, although he isn't level 6 yet, but that's one of those situations where, again, like a better team, first, like, they're not shopping in that moment, they're setting up for that immediate TP in. So at least they do force the re-webs, but they really would have liked to get that kill, because they would have forced these rotations as well and gotten out, and that might have freed them up the mid tower, but alas.
Not to be. But we're 14 minutes in. Your Ursa Warrior. And how long have we actually got till our next Roshan? Potentially 3 minutes. So some decent timing for that. In fact, we now see the timer, so it's actually a large portion of the 3 minutes. It's actually 5 minutes and 20 seconds until Roshan is up. Sineko is now going to die with a Storm Bolt. He wants to tether himself out, and he will not be having enough time to do so. As General into Firefly too, checking out the Radiant Ancients. There's one Hellbear that's just dominated sitting there. So they understand what's coming their way, but we have to remember this is a Shadow Shaman game. Again, made the reference to it when the CK was played by Polarity the last game. In the same way, whenever you have wards, you want to be forcing down buildings or forcing into an engagement. This is exactly what's happening now in mid lane. You got wards, you put the pressure on, you force Polarity to come back, but Navi will soon have to retreat anyway. That top lane is pushing through with a lot of spiders from Phobos. They have to defend it.
It's good. I mean, I don't agree with the wards drop there. I mean, they sort of saw that they were top. They knew that they would just be rotating as 5 towards mid. So I think they might have potentially been able to fight that, but not the time it looks like. Bat Rider's closing in on his Force Staff, hunting the right now, but I actually kind of like this movement from Polarity. They're just bringing all of their heroes around to back up this Brood right now, trying to bait them, because they need to address this Brood at some point, and they're hoping they can catch the heroes that do so off guard. And they also, I don't know if we commented on this, but the sentry that the puck is standing right next to, this one right here, that actually got a ward and sentry of the Dire team. So their wards will be slightly neutered once this one goes down in about 2 minutes, and they'll literally just have that lane ward middle as their only vision.
How does Navi play up against a Broodmother when they're blind?
Indeed. Just look how defensively they have to play. I mean, Ursa's farming, Denny's getting what he can, but their lead has grown in time, but I think a lot of that's just because they haven't taken this Ancient stack yet, and that's what'll really get Polarity back in the game. I think if they take 2 Ancient stacks, they'll be in a winning position where they can take fights and be ahead. Drums soon to be finished on Doom. Nothing else major. Yasha on the Ursa. It's something you don't see every day.
Here they come. Smoke up. Navi's going to try and sit a little bit higher up inside the lane. VS is the neighborhood in general. He turns on the Firefly, but now Dreamcoil. The one here, as you said, that wants to try and take care of him, but he can't do it. The relocate out, General will survive. Movements on the way up from Dendi. Didira is also in the neighborhood with Blink and Yasha available. And it looks like Polarity gonna have to let this one go.
Yep. Good trade. Relocate for Coil. Think they'll take that. They also get the mid tower, although it is denied. And now Pasha will immediately go for these Ancients. Over on... Yep, they saw that, so they really should potentially look to... Actually, I mean, I take that back. The problem is Sven takes the Ancients so damn fast. Like, you can't even react. Like, you know he's doing it, but it's just like, oh, well, shit. Luckily, it was only tripled, however, so not as beneficial as they might have hoped. And he did go armlet on Sven. I have not seen that in quite some time.
Oh, whoops. Jumping away after the initiation happened on mid lane. Well, it's Pasha's new thing, man. As I said before, like our first series of the day, like this whole armlet of the strength melee safe lane has just become more and more of a thing. I remember when Resolution was doing this on his Lycan non-stop, when Lycan people started to question, like, is Necrobook really the build for him? And then he just showed the power.
Yeah, I mean, maybe... wait, I don't know, did they really show the power, though?
I remember the first time he did it, he lost the first game when he went that armlet on the Lycan. But he won the next two.
I mean, it's definitely a solid item. It's just, in this situation, I don't mind it as much because he was behind and it'll really help him accelerate. I'd rather him get that than like an S and Y, as an example, because this item essentially replaces the S and Y. So he'll obviously hurt for move speed, but the damage output's going to be about the same with Armlet on. And then he can just go straight for like that Blink BKB data list that every Sven wants to get. But I agree with the logic, although I really would like him to see him finish that Helm of the Dominator. It's for 950 gold, you get a free, you get the 5 armor, the health regen, but there's just a basic plus 20 damage you get with the Dominator that just is, you just get it. And I think if you're gonna have the lifesteal, you might as well finish it, but to each their own. It also makes it obviously a lot easier to stack Ancients when you can do it yourself versus forcing your support to do so. Oh, I'm so dumb. He had it and then he disassembled it to make the armlet. Okay.
It's all good, bro. Didira is currently a caged beast inside the Roshan pit. Gotta wait another 20 seconds till Roshan is up. Luckily, there's a double stack that's just waiting here for him.
This is so funny, though. Look at where the Broodmother's playing from. Just microing his spiders.
That far away?
It's just because the Batrider's not showing and he knows he's in this area, and as I said, like, Batrider plus a Dust is a kill on Brood. There's really nothing you can do about it.
Smoke play from Polarity. They were a long way away from Navi's vision, so Navi don't really have that many aggressive observer wards that will let them know that this gank is going on.
Shadow Blade on Bat.
They're coming at the dire jungle, and Didira, well, hello. Oh, he blinked it! That was quick. That was very quick.
Wasn't bad.
Yeah, now that Smoke Gang fails, looking to make a break for it. He knows that Roshan's going to be up now.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The max spawn time was like 10 seconds away, so he just goes straight into it. We need to trigger the Lincoln's, at least the protection block. R-style, you can do that. Then he can do his thing. They're not even doing it. That Broodmother, they really just... They relocate killed
Roshan has fallen.
Broodmother as they're taking Roshan. That's a lot of positives for Na'Vi in a short space of time. And then Na'Vi goes directly into a smoke. Vengeful Spirit hiding in the tree line. She does not want to walk down right now. She does, however, and now Pasha X'd up, Master towards it there. He gets shackled to the Wild Wing. After wants to try and stop this, however, but he really cannot. No reason to burn the Dream Coil. So you get 2 core pickups in the space of 1 minute, including Roshan, that you did not have to burn the Aegis for the first time you initiated.
Gem Shadowblade now on the bat, so he is now the anti-Broodmother, and something I didn't bring up, and one of the reasons, like, while Brood is super annoying to deal with, a lot of teams have learned that things like IO can actually be very effective in this situation, because like Bat's literally just going to be looking for this Brood and able to survive against him, and like he's found him, and now they can just set up for relocate or just tether in, and now he's going to die. Mako?
Gonna go down. General gets the last 2 off eventually, and finds the kill. The puck Trying to make its play. Didira jumps in, waiting for Apo to go. Apo still got phase shift available. The flame break actually going to miss thanks to Apo staying inside that phase shift for long enough. Didira also still has Aegis to the Immortal, so he can force him into a fight. They'll be okay with this. However, the Urn charge is going to tick him out. Thanks to the VS, the swap. Dendi, you're not going to easily escape from this one either. He bought his Blink Dagger, so at least he won't lose money from this death. But it's Polarity getting counter kills.
General got greedy, didn't want to use his lasso, so they end up losing the IO and then the fight pretty hard. That was Aegis and Dendi down. So again, I'm really frustrated that Pasha hasn't finished his Dom again, because these Ancients are consistently not being stacked. We've taken 3 Ancient spawns thus far on our Sven, and it's 23 minutes almost into the game. And there's a reason he's at 8,400 net worth instead of above 10,000. It's straight up just because they've been inefficient in stacking their Ancients. Another thing that just better teams will not forget to do. And yeah.
Well, tier 1 tower in the middle is now also going to belong to Polarity. At least that's one way you can get some money in. They waiting on it's Lil on bottom. Haven't really felt the presence of Doom at all in these fights. As you said before, like, a lot of it you're not going to feel because of the IO. But even just Doom walking around with an aura in the fight, like, I'm not even feeling that kind of presence.
I mean, it's another reason I'm not a huge fan of these Sven lineups when they have all of these with like a puck. I like Sven when he's comboed with something like an Invoker. You know, not only does it boost the damage of the Sven, but it obviously can create a lot of its own. But now you're in a position, I feel like, with Polarity, even though they're doing okay in the game, their Sven is their only real source of damage. And I just feel like it's the same as the previous series, where Na'Vi have really good heroes to just kite around a Sven, and I think Polarity's in a tough spot, even though the last couple went okay for them.
Got another big group up on top. 3 heroes. They keep checking for wards.
And also, regarding Doom, I think that if you're gonna, as you said, like, he's just kind of been running around. I would have liked to see him actually go for the Max Devour this game instead of Max Infernal Blade.
Oh, they swap.
They get a coil up.
They're going on Dendi. Dendi needs a little bit of space, however. Shackle will do a little bit of it, so a win run. Saneka relocate, save out. Keep his core alive.
They use so many cooldowns. They're gonna fight this.
Didira looks ready. And you might have to actually have a fresh Empower. He's going to jump in right now. Phobos waiting for it. Snako comes back in. Phobos jumps up. And he actually focuses on the VS. The shackle from Teddy. Hitting Apo and Phobos in. And now General dragging him over. Pasha needs to be part of this fight. He's already used a Stormhammer. Snako on 30 life is regenerating. If he can keep this run going, he'll be able to tether himself away to safety. Juking around the tree lines. Pasha, you just got work, son. Snako, get out of here.
What?
Headed back up to the creep and then TP. No, he won't. The VS will be there to survive. 3 heroes lost from Na'Vi, however. They did lose the Ursa, who went pretty deep into the fight, and now you see, even though I wasn't really watching it, the presence of the Doombringer, he picked up 2 kills in that fight.
I don't understand like, Dendi started that fight flawlessly for Na'Vi. He hits a shackle on 2 heroes, kills the puck by himself, and in the meantime, his Manta Ursa is just sort of blinking in and feeding, like he just gets doomed in the face. I don't know, man. I'm just questioning the item choices, really. I don't understand.
Are you wondering why it's not a Lincoln Sphere instead of a Manta Style to stop that Doom from having that effect?
A BKB, Lifesteal, like anything but Manta. The only purpose of it is to get out of Puck Silence, Juke Avenge Stun, and maybe the Orchid, but I just feel like BKB... Oh, they found somebody bottom, by the way. I think Pasha might be in trouble.
Nope, you're right, but in comes Ampho, the Dream Call, trying to hold him in. Now Ampho takes considerable damage. Snako work it out this one for Tira. Still with enough work, they last 2 over on Pasha, dragging him back through the Firefly. He'll burn out as well. Tira, he still cannot fight. He's surrounded by 3 heroes. Dendi really wants to go for more. Doesn't have a lot of mana up his sleeve, but he's still got the physical damage to get through that Broodmother. And now turn his attention over towards a small little vengeful spirit. But again, no mana over on Dendi. He has to bail out of here. General's hanging around just in case someone else comes out. In fact, now he's underneath the Sentry Ward, blinks away from the Magic Missile stun. They'll lose their aggressive Observer Ward for their play.
Sorry, I'm trying really hard to like disguise the sniffles with my mute button. I think a couple
You're
are
doing
coming
well,
through.
man. You're doing well.
Well, I think it's gotten worse as I've been casting with you. Something about your influence.
I just make mucus flow, bro. Dandy.
Oh no.
He's gonna get doomed. He thought he could go for this. He saw both Lil as well as the VS before the fight, before he starts that initiation. And now, with him on the sideline for almost a minute, Polarity can get their space back and get control of their lanes again.
The problem is that even though Navi keeps making like all of these mistakes mostly through excess aggression, Polarity still aren't stacking their ancients. Their puck is gonna fall off so hard in this game that
Well, so does
I
the
still
Brood Mother,
feel like
right?
Navi's in a really good position. Oh yeah, for sure, especially with the Orchid build. Like, he has Orchid BKB. He's not gonna get much stronger for quite some time. Like, he needs a big item, and they're just not stacking their ancients, man. So this Sven is super far behind as well. He'll finish his BKB, but it sort of just comes back to the last few games where if they can kite the BKBs from the Sven and the Broodmother, they're just gonna win the fight. And they're always threatened by Dendi potentially getting off a Blink Shackle ultimate that just will kill everything except for Sven with his E-up for the most part. But obviously they also have Relocate for the Bat Lasso. Navi just has a lot more tools to find openings in the game. Polarity kind of has to continue doing what they're doing, where they're just prepared for Navi's aggression and they get counter kills and reinitiations.
This is just It's really weird to look at a lineup and just think, okay, well, in about 15 minutes time, most of Polarity are not going to do much against Navi, apart from the Zen. And that they keep giving all the farm over to the other heroes instead. Like, the Doombringer obviously can do a lot. It looks like he's actually gone for Purge creep. Over having that Alpha Wolf, he's willingly picked up the Purge.
I actually like it here. You can purge Hex off of your teammates, I believe, and you can also purge yourself of the napalm and things of that nature.
Okay.
I'm okay with it.
It just means now the damage output of this Ven just dropped a little bit.
To an extent, but they have Avenge, so I think it's okay. I think it's way more important that they're able to kite and effectively keep their their fellow heroes from being controlled. So a Purge is, for example, on Ursa, after Ursa ults, will just completely nullify his ultimate and give his face. Batrider is gonna get doomed and coiled.
That Doom already. You still got the Relocate that can bring the Ursa into this fight if they wanted, but General, he's currently just walking it off. He may have actually get 9 parts, jumps forward, almost 2 hits down Arstar. Didiran will arrive, but it's already a little bit too late. You've already lost 2 heroes from Na'Vi.
There's the Purge.
Tries to focus on Lil, and where is it? Lil can't even keep on with his with the enemy heroes. So it's a double kill for Pasha. The puck will die because he came a little bit too close to Mass Serpent wards. The Na'Vi, it just seems like everything just came together a fraction of a second too late, and Polarity drive to wedge right between the players.
So Polarity make the right move there. They initiate on the enemy team's initiator, recognizing that Io is top, waiting to relocate someone into the fight, so that he's not there for that counter. And it's just really a misplay from Na'Vi. They need Io in the fight. Otherwise, that'll happen every time. The Doom goes off, and that hero is dead. Isolated, coiled, etc. If the IO's there, Navi's just gonna take that fight, win it, and maybe Roche, but instead they just kind of lose 2, and then the Relocate comes in anyway, and Ursa got purged right as he popped his ultimate, and they just kind of ran the circle around him, and then he died after it faded.
And Polarity got so lucky too with the early Roshan spawn, because it means now they can take it. You can see Na'Vi as they're trying to come out, but they got scattered out. Lil will be here with an Invis rune, and he's still got the gem available. Purge is over on Dendi, who will blink himself away now. The last 2 over on top of Lil with a focus fire. Lil will go down, or will he? He actually gets himself away thanks to the swap coming out from the VS, and there was no return damage back. Pasha with the BKB. Say goodbye to 1. They're looking for the second. The Doom and the VS are still down. General Arstar will play in that position of Phobos. The BKB's going to wear off in a moment too. Afro Ninja is not a healthy man. The lane break bouncing around as Chickens. Arstar looking for that last little bit of damage. Afro being chased now down by General. The Aegis the Immortal has triggered off General. Misses the target. Napo just keeps being very, very elusive. Andy has to win run back underneath the tier 2 tower. No Stormbolt. He breaks for the tree line into that invis, but he cannot walk away far enough. Pasha with the triple kill. Na'Vi losing so much. You did buy back on the Doombringer for that fight. Not sure what that did, but still, they do manage to get most of Na'Vi down for that.
And just one thing to note there was the lack of BKB once again just kind of kills the Ursa, where he gets his Manta off, but kind of just dies immediately afterwards. And I didn't even mention this, but one big thing people forget about Broodmother is the incapacitating bite. So every time he attacks Ursa, he's going to give him 60% miss and 40% move slow. So even if Ursa's ulted and literally just auto attacks Brood in the face, like, he doesn't even care because he's only going to connect on like 1 out of every 3. So Ursa's damage output just becomes almost non-existent, and it just kind of comes back once again to item choice. I mean, doesn't necessarily have to be a BKB, but the item was 100% not Manta in this game.
Well, now Na'Vi are in a world of hurt. They've lost about 10,000 worth of net worth over the course of the last 10 minutes. The experience has gone by almost, well, the experience is roughly approaching 15,000 in this swing. They had such a big advantage, and now they're falling further and further behind. A Monkey King Bar is the next item up for the Sven. He's got Blink, Armlet, BKB, and that MKB. So now Dendi has no real safe place to be. They need to have some of the greatest initiations in the history of Na'Vi in order to actually get the game back under control. Or else we are going to a third game.
I don't know, Toby. It's getting kind of scary for them. We're gonna have an MKB soon on the Broodmother.
This is nice for
that's
General.
really solid.
Found a target. Gonna catch out Phobos. Apo. Well, here comes Didira trying to go to work. Phobos almost down for the count, but thanks to the Dream Call, there's no easy way to follow this. Little did come in as well with his Doom, but then the cleave! Pasha takes out 3! A wham bam, and not even a thank you. Phobos starts leeching life out with insatiable hunger, but Didira is on the run. He'll blink away to safety, and that may just be a lane of racks. They need a creep wave, however. That's the downside.
That's kind of game, though. I mean, it's still possible, but like you kind of just saw, there's an MKB now on the Sven. He actually just got rid of his lifesteal for the cheese. Soon to be an MKB finished on the Broodmother. And Ursa's just like at this point an item behind both enemy cores. Same with Dendi, and they need Dream initiation to win a fight at this point. So I think we're most likely headed for a game 3.
It looks to be the case, but for now Na'Vi still will hold the line. They have Didira with his BKB up. He'll have to reveal it as he defends the bottom lane. Looks like Lil's preparing himself for the top lane defense, but General's pushing in. General's almost got his own BKB, so that initiation isn't outside of the realm of possibility. You've got Blinks over on a Shadow Shaman, you've got Mass Serpent more damage, plus his Hexes, plus his Shackles. Then he still has the Chrysalis, or a couple of Lucky Crys if you can finish up the Daedalus off one, like, maybe a small engagement, like one pick-off. Na'Vi still have a path back into this. The Polarity are looking better and better. Like, the Doom is about to get his own BKB if he's just given more time. You're getting an Aghanims over on the puck. A lot of the BKBs of Na'Vi will be negated. The VS hasn't had to pick up much more. Like, she's done her job perfectly. The only question is, where does this Ven go? Like, if he is not getting his kited, you can actually just go directly into Satanic, right? Oh, R-Style. They're relocating up. They're going on Apo. The Doombringer is here, but there's no Doom for 11 seconds. And Didira, he wants a target, but who do you go on? Apo's going to jump in. The Mass Serpent Wars will drop as the puck walks away from Didira. The Doombringer will actually kill off 2. Didira's over in the tree line, but they move forward. The BKB is up. There's no swap. There's nothing to actually penetrate the BKB TP out. But Apo will still survive through it. The initiation from Na'Vi failing. They wanted one pickup to create space. Now they've made more trouble for themselves.
Na'Vi just, I mean, they're very talented. I think this roster is certainly one of the most promising they've had in the past couple of years, but I think the way they've played this game just demonstrates the polish that they still need to do for their team to have long-term success, because they were in a winning position in this game, and they just made so many mistakes, and they aren't playing as a team. Like even in that fight, like they don't have 5 there.
Dandy.
Now Dandy's just dead.
Yeah.
Pasha does still have BKB and cheese. Good Yules. Yep.
Yeah. That may just be the game right now. Diddy Ra is just surrounded by 5 Polarity heroes. You might get the buyback over on Dandy, but without the Ursa Warrior, you're missing a huge core.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The Polarity will give them the respect. They will back up. They will keep this game going. They don't want to overcommit. For me, I think this game started tilting after you dove onto the tier 2 tower. Like Na'Vi dove onto the tier 2 tower.
Yep.
Like at that point, you're just like, what is sort of happening? And there's a pick off here, a pick off there. And say hello to Moonshot for Pasha. Well, they found another target. Oh, Phobos will go down. The relocate came in with Dandy. That relocate saved back out again from Snako. Might take a little bit longer, but the tether remains. The Snako, well, okay. He actually just gets to relocate out in time. Dandy is not so lucky. Dead for 80 seconds to kill off a Broodmother.
One thing I will say is that General is showing why this is like the only hero. I mean, okay, he's really good at Batrider. He's like a little bit behind the Ursa for #1 on his team, and he has yet to do any very crazy feats or initiations. So he's definitely playing well. It's just his team's not really on the same page, I don't feel.
Oh, he's going to Shadow Blade up, looking for a target, finds Pasha. Where's that swap? VS too far away. The Ursa trying to rip through him. Is he actually, well, he's inside the mass server wall. Now he'll break free with the Mana Style. They pick off this vent. The Ghost Scepter delaying a little bit of time here for the VS to survive. Arstar as well as Snako will hang around for him. But they're chasing the bigger target. It's over towards Lil. With a buff up, Snako comes in and the Batrider will find the kill. 4 heroes lost Polarity. This is the reason why they backed out the top lane. They didn't want to give Na'Vi a bone. They just did. They thought they had the opportunity when Dandy was down. And now, RV get the breathing room. Maybe not a lot of it, but it's something.
Combination of really good heads up by General's bat and miscoordination on Polarity's side, because the Sven was just hitting the racks in this area, and General Shadowbladed and recognized that the Venge was running from middle to top, and that he had like a 3-second window to grab the Sven and force him way out of position where they were then able to kill him off. Because if the Venge swaps there, like there's just no way they get even close to winning that fight.
Ice Rock must really hate Na'Vi. Like Polarity after their fight on bottom lane got an almost instant Roshan spawn. Na'Vi's first Roshan had to wait almost 2.5 minutes for it to spawn up, and now Diddy Ra, yeah, he has to wait a very, very long time for Roshan to come back alive. Almost 2 minutes still left on the clock for him. So Arstal and Snako, they run over, they're trying to get some wards down. There's no gem vision over on Polarity unless they just bought a new one. Nope, they actually bought 2 smokes and 2 obs wards. They're trying to come over. They're probably assuming that Roshan should already be up.
Yeah, they're just hoping they get lucky, but as you said, they won't be.
Yeah, 1 minute 15 seconds now for Roshan. So counting it down because Dandy is pushing out the bottom lane. They still don't know exactly where the Earth is going to go. With that Observe Ward up, General gets rid of 1 obs. He'll get swapped in. The BKB was up. He'll blink and force staff down a little bit further into the Radiant jungle, which is where the rest of Na'Vi is waiting. Arstal, where's Commerzbank was now to come out. Lil shackled up 2 different ways. The Doom, he goes down without getting that ulti off. Harsh, however, they're still able to clean up Arstal. But where's the damage? It's coming in from Diddy Ra, trying to beat into Pasha. He's almost got him. The shackle from Dandy. It hits Phobos as well. So even the Broodmother can't be involved in this. Then he's just critting through that Broodmother. He'll go through another one. Afro may have picked up the Ursa. Chasing, actually, can he actually get away from this one? Not when he gets shackled again. You're thinking he had all the evasion abilities he required, but now 4 heroes lost for Polarity. Na'Vi can take that bottom tier 2 tower. They may not get much more, however. The mid lane's pushing it a little bit too far. But they will at least have, is he going back? Nope.
Dandy and General just kind of keep making themselves out to be the best players in this game right now. General, like, once again blinks off the swap, and then hides around and just catches the Doom before he can get doomed, and like that wins them the fight right there. Dendi hits 3 massive shackles and just tons of damage in this fight. I don't know. I mean, that's like, look at how farm General is, man. He's second in this game right now. That's ludicrous, and he has 4K to boot. So his next item will be very interesting to see. I really don't know what he would go here. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Lincoln's, to be honest.
The Lincoln's will be nice up against the Doombringer. Maybe he can actually give some extra protection to the Ursa. At the same time, maybe then, like you're missing a couple of big auras for that team. Is it even worth getting something like Assault Cuirass to battle up against the already tilted armor change of VS and Sven are providing?
It's not a bad idea. It just...
You're
don't
not
know.
loving it for an initiation hero.
No, not at all. I think
You
an
got
Ag
one
might
Lincoln.
actually
You got one
be
Lincoln's
good.
over on Seneko. He just gave the protection over to Dandy, but Didier Ra might be the one in trouble. He BKBs up, he managed to grab the cheese. Then he has the Aegis in general. In again, the swap this time around will be cancelling the last two.
But again, the timing of that was excellent. I mean, he goes in, he's safe, like, he just that's what you want to do. He gets a hit, forces the swap, same cooldown, whatever, move on. They do get the Aegis, as you said. Now Dendi has that and a Daedalus. Lincoln's on Seneko, which I really agree with. I think that's a solid pickup. Somebody had to get a Lincoln's. The main thing for me is going to be when Artstyle gets his level... Well, he has his level 16, but when is he going to get his Ags? Because once he gets that, their ability to go high ground increases significantly.
Would you call for the Ags, or would you actually call for a BKB? Because what's more important, the ability to actually have the high ground push, or the ability to have a BKB'd up hero? You're already up against the Ags of the puck, so yeah, maybe I'm actually for the Ags as well. I'm just seeing like who controls this Ven if it's not Artstyle, apart from Dendi Mythical Shackles.
I just feel like he's just going to be targeted every fight. I'd rather put down really strong mortars than just
Blast
get
through
the hell
back, Dandy. Look at the damage coming out from him and Pasha. He'll jump in for the double stun. He runs with the Lincoln Spear on him, but the damage from Pasha is just so big until Seneko can actually stop most of it. He enrages up. Pasha's still not down yet. They'll swap out.
Another
You can
shackle.
say goodbye to Didier Ra. Dandy is doomed up for the moment. Apo's just trying to beat him out. If you'll set her up into the air, remember Dandy does love the Aegis, the Immortal, and he wants to fight. Just a physical damage. It's looking good. Seneko comes in. He's got one bottle charge up here. It'll keep Dendi alive, so they keep the Aegis up for now. General's in the neighborhood. He has that side to fight. The fresh item picked up. And Lil, the flame break timing and the shackle. They actually managed to turn 1 into 2 here. The blink away, he'll go down south, but Denny right behind him. Is there a crypt? No, there's a phase shift. Afro, another Yule Scepter. General, hot on the tail. The flame break flies forward. It'll hit him, and once that burn starts ticking him down, another phase shift. Which way do you go now, Puck? Further down the river. Turns for the orb, burns the Aegis, the Immortal. General will run out of Firefly time. But he sees Afro going into the tree lines, gets the Hex off, there's the Flame Break, combining out with the sticky Napalm. This should be a kill, but how long have they done this chase? Puck up into the air, Blink Dagger off cooldown, now all the way, a little bit further up, but General sees him move. The gem is dropped, Navi will finally get that kill. It cost him the Aegis, but it's not over yet. Pasha's still in the neighborhood, he'll see General, gets the stun, the 4-star actually went out from General, but there's your relocate on the way, Seneko back into the fight as Pasha is on the run. Danny's got his blink off cooldown in 4 seconds time, but it's a little bit too long. They have to get the hell out of here. They're underneath Radiant Vision, and they do not want to get caught out. Pasha, there's your blink forward. But Navi, they're finally going to leave.
Great plays all around. Puck choosing to orb back and
Radiant's
kill
top
Dendi
tower is
versus
under attack.
securing he would stay alive was a really big play. But that fight only goes as well as it did for Navi because Pasha made a big mistake, got the double stun on Io Ursa, and chose to target the Ursa without being able to cleave the Io. You have to kill Io. It's rule number 1 of playing against these sorts of lineups, and he just chooses to ignore him. And it doesn't matter if you think you can kill the Ursa before ulti, you always, always, always kill Io first. And that's the reason like 3 Navi heroes were able to stay alive for as long as they did. So they need to edit that before they take this next engagement because the IO must die, especially when it's someone like Seneko's on it.
Well, here they go again. Polarity running up to that mid lane. Arnstyle's the only one that's really showcasing himself. Seneko's in the neighborhood. He's going to get actually chipped up a little bit by a couple of broodlings. Forgot these things even exist on the map. Actually, where is even that top lane pressure? Like, Phobos potentially, like, well, then again, he got picked up so much, didn't he? That he can't go up to the top lane.
It's not only that. I mean, the time of the game where a Brood can just kind of sit there and it's just kind of gone. Like at this point, if he gets shackled by Dendi or lassoed by Bad, or even if Ursa just blinks on him, he'd still die. So at this point in the game, he can't really play like a Brood Mother anymore. He's just an agility hero.
Which isn't terrific, considering right now that agility hero is just carved up by both Ursa and the Wind Ranger. And as time goes on too, like Denny's on his way to his own Lincoln Sphere at the moment. He can also pick that up. Like his stats have already increased with the Ultimate Orb. Actually, is it a Lincoln's or is it a Scythe go along with the one that Batrider's got? They could potentially just kind out this Ven who's BK beat in a 5 seconds duration.
I think it's going to be a Lincoln's. They have no real good cancel for a Lincoln's right now, and it prevents them from being surprise jumped with a swap, a Sven stun, something like that. It allows you to for against like that one hero jumping on you immediately. I think Lincoln's is the right choice here. They definitely don't need more control. They have a lasso, they have a hex, they have shackles, they have a shadow shaman.
Oh,
Snake! Need to make sure they don't die.
You didn't want to come into this one. He's going to Glimmer Cape up, but he's already dusted, so there's no way for him to survive this committal of the Dream Coil as well. At the very last moment there. There's still 70 seconds on the cooldown when you're trying to go high ground against Na'Vi.
I mean, but at this point, like now all they need to do, if they can doom the Ursa or the Wind Ranger, like this is a Rax, 100%. Like there's no buyback on the IO. The bench just has to not be sleeping when this lasso comes in.
Well, here comes Batrider. Pasha picked up, and he's back. There's the BS swap. Can that range? And Hostile just throws down Mass Serpent Wards. It's the only thing he can do before he dies. There's 2 supports down. They keep Polarity out for the moment, however.
But they've got a... Polarity's just playing this so much more passively than I think situation warrants. Like, there's 2 supports down. Lasso is down. What? If you're not going to push here, like, when are you going to feel secure enough to push? That should very easily be a Rax, 100%.
You're in a lineup with a Brood Mother. Like, Brood Mother is renowned for, like, 45 minutes into the game, her push doesn't mean jack. As you said yourself, like, she's just an agility hero right now. But what's your other concern on the field? Like, does Ven need a critical item? His Daedalus is getting closer. In fact, he can buy the Daedalus now. He just won't have buyback. Probably something he doesn't want to do. Relocate, coming in bottom lane. Lil, flame breaked up. He's going to Doom on General. But Diddy Ra's going to make very big mincemeat of this Doombringer. Masu was never used. You're going to pick up on the Doombringer. And now more space is just being created by Na'Vi.
No buyback on the Doom. So let's see what Na'Vi chooses to do with this opening. A lot of teams in this situation won't do a damn thing. Roche is not up, although it will be up about the time Doom respawns, so pretty lucky for Na'Vi if they're going to camp that, but they will look to take the tier 2 mid it appears, but I would have actually liked to see them maybe even pressure for high ground a bit. The sieging ability of a Wind Ranger is nuts, and without the Doom, you're really only afraid of a Sven, and it's just so easy to deal with him.
They see Phobos. I don't see him now because he got out of range of the gem, obviously, of General. Became a little bit more visible. Na'Vi will take this tier 2 tower in the mid lane now. A full Abyssal Blade is completed on Diddy Ra. He sacrificed his buyback in order to have this.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Another 1,000 gold, he'll actually have his buyback anyway. But Snaker's going to have a hard time keeping Diddy Ra alive. And Na'Vi, do you want to? Yeah, they're going to come up. They put the Lincoln Sphere over on the Ursa.
I really want to see Dende hitting this, though. He's their main source of damage. You definitely should be switching this.
He is holding back. It's almost like they're baiting with Diddy Ra because he's got the cheat, but now Blink Lasso, Phobos pulled out the Hex, actually got the Vengeful Spirit, Arstyle opened up a lot of space for Pasha! Oh my! He hits like an absolute truck! Diddy Ra will still be able to get the advantage there. Broodmother buys back into this fight. The Eul Scepter up, Diddy Ra is going to drop, but the Mass Serpent Wards take the range rank. That's the only big advantage that Na'Vi managed to get from this. And I say big, it's fine small.
I mean, that's a great fight, and then Rasta, Wind Ranger, and Bat all died with Sven's Cleave, and he didn't even, like, they played it well. Like, Ursa immediately jumped on and popped the Abyssal, but, like, if Dendy's not going to try and kill the Rax, he's got to position himself way better. And they all got distracted by the target General had lassoed, and Sven just made him pay for it very quickly. Dead.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even use Doom.
Nope. They did buy back on the Broodmother. That's the only sacrifice that had to be made by Polarity.
Don't back. Why are they backing?
They're expecting, like...
What?
They don't have the
Alright.
Doombringer with them. Like, Doom was never there to fight. Like, the Doombringer is currently farming up the bottom lane, and this Ven being down, maybe they just don't have any kind of confidence without this Ven on the field. But you bought back on the two heroes who kind of don't need to buy anything else. Like, General, sure, if he can buy BTs, that would be terrific for him. But, like, Ursa saves his cash. Dendy saves his cash.
I mean, that's the second time I feel like Polarity was much too passive for a team that's going to win this game. And they're banking on you just... I hate when you're banking on winning a fight in a game that's this close. You want to... every time you have an advantage, you need to press and force with that advantage, because otherwise you're gonna put yourself in a position where now you are still gonna need to fight, except now it'll be on even terms, and you can't control your environment. It'll be around this Roche, as an example, 5-on-5 instead of forcing buybacks. They force a buyback on the Ursa or the Wind Ranger, suddenly killing that target straight up wins you the game if you can do it at the start of the fight. And I just don't like this play, Toby, and now they're not really ready to contest this Roche either, and Na'Vi does it very quickly.
Yeah. The only issue is they got to keep Roshan inside the pit. Right now, he's walking out because General is aggroing him. But Didier Ra, what's he also waiting for? Is he really worried the Polarity is that close? They want to take the fight before they slip in for Roshan? Polarity are moving over at the moment. Now, there's no vision on the radiant side of the map apart from that one observer ward watching the secret shop of Polarity. The Polarity actually have no idea what's happening inside of Roshan, and Na'Vi's in exactly the same boat. They actually put down a defensive observer ward. It's like they're waiting for Polarity to walk up this hill and have smoke break.
I would have preferred to see them just do Roche, I think. They can just do it so quickly, and they had a very large window. Now it's just going to be a high ground waiting game, yeah. Both teams really just not capitalizing on their opportunities.
Well, it's almost a game of fear at the moment. Like, each team is just cradling inside their corner in fetal position, hoping that everything is going to be alright as long as Mother sings to me. Are they ready? Like, because what does Polarity even do here? Like, you don't want to start Roshan. Because if you start Roshan, you can get counter-initiated on.
No, you just blink into Roche right now, and you just start doing it, and you double Lincolns them.
Here's the smoke move with Polarity. General's already triggered up that Firefly of his, so he's got a little bit of flying vision. Roshan's going to get aggroed out as well, but halfway through the smoke duration of Polarity, bottom lane continues to be pushed out. Didier Ra shows himself in Polarity. They just go for it. They know that someone here can be killed. And will it be the Ursa? They start with the Orc and he'll Mandarin off. And Didier Ra, he actually, well, he just tanks everything. But now Dandy's the naked. He can save him. He couldn't pull him out in time. 3 heroes down, 2 for the price of 1 for the moment. Didier Ra still low on life. He'll trigger the cheese round, move over and kill off Pasha with the control of General. They're able to do so. Arstyle may be dropping as General blinks over. Is he going to flame break? Something that can cancel this TP out of the Vengeful Spirit? No, they do not. And there was no lucky bash from Didier Ra. So the skirmish has continued. Dendy comes in, Phobos. He walks in range of the vision, and Didier Ra, there's your bash. Phobos is down, a triple kill for the Ursa Warrior, and now we will see who is the manliest of men, and the answer is Didier Ra. It's an ultra kill for him. They search for Afro Ninja. He'll phase shift and blink. Where did that puck go? He went a lot further north. Roshan is a bubble, and Didier Ra can now finally go in and take this, so Dendy can get cheese, Didier Ra can get Aegis, or vice versa. I do not care which, but go for Roshan.
Yep. And now they know, if I'm Na'Vi right now, you're calling for throne. You can see Puck desperately trying to pull the creep wave away. This is the right move, but he might die for it. Oh, no lasso for a little bit.
But again, like, Afro has made Na'Vi chase him multiple times in this game. Can you even care about this? Just go for mid.
No, you literally just go for throne right now. You know there's no Sven. They don't know this, but there's no Broodmother either. They should actually, if they had a timer, know his buyback is still down. Like, this is, again, if Na'Vi has won the game if they just make the right decision and go kill the buildings. Like, they have won. And I just hope they realize this, because... Okay,
here they come.
Max. If they get megas, I'm okay with it, but they need to understand, like, they've won the game.
Well, they have a 56-second window. Dendy could actually solo that mid ranks. It looks like they're trying to force out the fortification of Polarity, which does still exist, so they're going to let their melee die. They're not using fortification yet. In fact, they're going to let both the Rexes die, and they're going in for kills. The Shackle was there from Dendy. Arthur keeps hits going. Lil will be on the sideline. They may just go straight for the GG now. They've taken out enough of Polarity. The Na'Vi will be able to 2-0 out this series as they go, yep, tier 4 towers. Puck will fight back. They try and keep the battle going. So these tier 4 towers, man, he actually attacks so damn slow. 18 seconds. Fortification doesn't exist. General, no lasso available, and there it is. The GG well played will come out. Na'Vi will take this series from Polarity, and they will take it out 2-0, ending our night for the ESL One, with both Na'Vi advancing forward, as well as our previous series before.
Yeah.
Vega.
The thing that separates the great teams from the good ones is measured aggression, and I think Na'Vi demonstrated they are on the too aggressive side, and Polarity certainly too passive in this game. And